Greetings and welcome to Susan AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Anyway, we're going to do all of this. Let's talk about this. We want to expose the colonial era thinking of the French president Emmanuel Macron in the statements that he made regarding how the so-called sovereign nations that he claims that we are, that the African nations are, even though we're using safer that is printed by France and forcing African countries to use, and making sure that our reserves are banked with the French central bank, which just belies all of those claims of sovereignty. And then to top it all, to say that we should be grateful. You'll hear the full comment. I wanted to just play that here so you could really get a sense of what is going on. How's the volume? I hope you can hear me much better. Been having one or two issues with the volume and I've been trying to solve it. So I think we finally cracked it. I had to go and check the system right through and everything else, and now I think we've got it. So welcome on board. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth power. Before we go too far ahead, I'd like you to, of course, do us a favor. Today being the 24th. Yeah, good question. Good, I picked it up. Just quickly check something there. 24th of February. Okay, so 24th of February 2025. Okay, being a Monday. Okay, now, so what I want you to do is go ahead and subscribe to us. Here's how you do that. Subscribe to Citizen AY. Hit notification button, and of course give us the thumbs up. Thank you very much for that. Please do subscribe and share, and let us reach as many people as possible. The volume we can check now. I did some further test run and early on, and it's clearer now. So without further ado, let us go and listen. But we are trying to expose the colonial era mindset of the French president Emmanuel Macron. Here we go. Okay.
Sécuritaire. Elle était de deux natures en vérité. Il y a une partie, c'était notre engagement contre le terrorisme depuis 2013. On avait raison. Je crois qu'on a oublié de nous dire merci. C'est pas grave, ça viendra avec le temps. L'ingratitude, je suis bien placé pour le savoir, c'est une maladie non transmissible à l'homme. Mais je le dis pour tous les gouvernants africains qui n'ont pas eu le courage vis-à-vis de leurs opinions publiques de le porter, aucun d'entre eux ne serait aujourd'hui avec un pays souverain si l'armée française ne s'était pas déployée dans cette région. Et j'ai une pensée émue pour nos soldats qui, parfois, ont donné leur vie et pendant des années se sont battus. Nous avons bien fait. On est parti parce qu'il y a eu des coups d'État. Parce qu'on était là à la demande d'États souverains qui avaient demandé à la France de venir. À partir du moment où il y a eu des coups d'État, où les gens ont dit « notre priorité, c'est plus la lutte contre le terrorisme, c'est ceci ou cela qu'importe », la France n'y avait plus sa place, parce que nous ne sommes pas les supplétifs de putschistes. Donc on est parti. Nous avions une relation sécuritaire. Elle était de deux natures en vérité.
Yeah, so
Il y a une partie, c'était notre engagement contre le terrorisme depuis 2013. On avait raison. Je crois qu'on a oublié de nous dire merci.
right, I played that just a bit. I wanted to get to this particular point. So let us now dissect everything. The key thing I wanted to say to really bring your attention is that I think someone forgot to say thank you. That exposes the colonial mindset, and that's why you see me put the picture up. And by the way, in the picture, you see up here, there is a picture there of a woman in the 1930s, a French woman being carried on a sedan or whatever it's called, with four African men from Senegal. She's a French woman, by the way. So that is the mindset. That is the mindset that Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, and indeed the French system, they view Africa in that sense. Because what else? How else can you explain you forcibly taking the wealth of African countries and banking in the French bank, central bank, and then getting the people when they want to get their money, they take it out as a loan, as an interest. You have to pay back interest on it. They have to pay interest on whatever they take from their own money. And this is something that Emmanuel Macron is not even taken into consideration when he makes this kind of statement. So let us break down what he said there. And I wanted to just put that picture to really understand the thinking of not only Emmanuel Macron, but many of the colonials, those countries that are still having influence in Africa. This is their thinking. When you hear them utter words, this is the image most of them have in their head. Back to the 1884 Berlin Conference, and this is why we have to dismantle the entire thing on the African continent. That's what must happen. And let's go ahead. Now, let us look at what he said. So we're going to go point by point. Okay. So we had a relationship based on security. What security? The security in question, the Africans have never been secure on their own continent with the colonials in control. Let us be very clear about that. That's point number one. We have never been secure where the colonials have controlled what we did. They put boundaries. The 1884 Berlin Conference was about putting boundaries in the what do you call it? In the putting boundaries that we Africans couldn't cross on our own continent, restricting our movement, forcing us to speak their language. Looking down on anything that is African. So, whose security are you talking about? You've never provided any security for Africans. Any security has been to ensure that Africans understood that you were in control. So let us be very clear about that. That the colonials are in control, not the Africans on the African continent. Let's be very clear about that. Okay. So it was our engagement against terrorism since 2013. No way. That was a system of ensuring that there was Africa would be able to continue to depend on France. You said, there's security, there's terrorism. They created this false narrative of terrorism, and guess what? The French were training in the military bases. Don't forget, the French told each of the countries that got so-called independence that they had to comply with France, and they had to follow what France said. And France reserved the right to interfere in their government and even carry out a coup d'état if the government doesn't do what the French want. And the people and and all of the African countries that under French control still have the law. France has forced refusal on any of the mineral resources that we have. That is still ongoing. We have to use the safer. They buy our resources on the cheap. For example, until recently, Niger, and General Chiani there just in the screen, he put a stop to all of that. The uranium. France was taking uranium from Niger, for example, on the cheap, 70 cents in the euro per kilo. In the world international market, it is 200 euros per kilo. Daylight robbery. So when this man is going to try and talk to us about morality or try and talk about someone should be grateful, who should be grateful? But anyway, so about the terrorism, I want to just talk about that. The French, under the guise of providing terrorism, actually did two things. One, they trained insurgents. Now they targeted areas where there were resources, and they sent the insurgents there to go and disrupt them. And then under the guise of protecting them, they would bring people in and say, we're trying to protect. But all of this was to sustain the need for France to be in there to exploit our resources. And what is more, the resources, once the insurgents came in, the military, under the guise of protecting the people, will go in, take the resources. And the military bases of the French cannot be entered, it cannot be accessed by Africans. So whatever goes into that military base flies out with no accountability whatsoever. So when they're talking about that, they're providing us security, let us be very clear, they're not. It is about securing the resources that they take from Africa and taking it out. We have to be very clear about that. Okay, so let's go to the next one. He now talked about something else. What does he talk about now? Just trying to bring that to you. Now he said, the temerity to say the words which I'm about to show you, it's a joke. Okay, come on. It's coming up now. You see it. Where he was saying that we should say thank you or something like that, and that's I think someone forgot to say thank you. So it's saying that as Africans, we should say thank you. Again, I'll bring that picture back in your mind. I want you to be very clear. When he's saying that, this is the image in his mind when he's telling us that we should be grateful. We should be grateful for what? Exploitation, oppression, suppression, imposition of the currency, foreign currency, imposition that we of you being the only one that has access to our resources. I feel I don't get it. Is that what you mean? So I just wanted to just really bring that to our attention. Okay, now let's go to the next one. So I'm just going to take it point by point. It's okay. It will come with time. No. You should be apologizing for exploitation of Africans, for taking the 500 billion a year from many African countries and putting it into the French banking system. And then those countries, when they want to access their money, you are charging them interest on their money. And it's still happening as we speak. So who actually is ungrateful? Who actually is ungrateful? Let us call this out. These are the realities we need to expose. Please, when you get this broadcast, don't forget to share. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY. Hit the notification button and of course give us a thumbs up. Help us reach more people. We really do appreciate your support. So let's carry on. So we want to break down everything he said point by point. So let's go to the next one. Now he said, because he's expecting us to say thank you for the oppression and everything that they've done. And he says to be ungrateful. In fact, let me go. There's something he said. Yes, ungratefulness I know all too well. So we are not, we should say thank you, but in time it will come. Ungratefulness I know all too well. Nonsense, So again, I'm asking, who is ungrateful? Is it not the French who've been taking our resources, and under the guise of providing security, taking more of the resources? And it's all been exposed now. The Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali, Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, Assimi Goïta of Mali, and General Chani of Niger, they all exposed the French military for what they were doing, going into those countries and taking the resources. That's what they've been covertly taking the resources, and now he's now trying to say they try to help. It's propaganda. What Emmanuel Macron is saying now is pure propaganda, because the evidence is there for all to see. Since Burkina Faso took over control of their land, before Ibrahim Traore took over, Burkina Faso was in control of only 40% of their land. Since he took over, they have over 40. They have taken over 80%. They've now extended the control of over their land to over 80%. Meaning that the French military were actually part of ensuring that there was less and less control of the territory by the Burkina Faso government. That way they could take the resources. But now you can see that the Alliance of Sahel States has now actually pushed out all of those insurgencies. They kicked them all out, and they're providing their own security. They have they're providing fantastic security. And there's a rapid development as a result of that security. They're building hospitals. They're farming. Farmers are going back to the farm. People are going to schools. These are all indications of the success of the Alliance of Sahel States. But he's not going to point out to that. Instead, he's coming here to tell us that we should be grateful for what? For what exactly? Let's carry on to the next term. Okay, so it's a disease. Ungratefulness. Yeah, indeed. Yes. I think that term should be reserved for the French and all of the other colonials who are still on the African continent till as we speak. There's an ungratefulness of them, expecting to continue to loot from Africa. And those days are long gone. Many African countries are waking up, and more will continue to wake up, and we support the Alliance of Sahel States. Okay, so in the face of public opinion to hold. So they want us to continue. They want the people, those in leadership, to be still under their control. Now that you see Burkina Faso, just look at what is happening in Burkina Faso. They have their own tomato paste. The farmers are growing they're good. They're self-sufficient in food. The students are being taught in the local language. They're wearing local clothes. They're teaching people about how to build bridges, how to provide their own security. They're in control of everything for them. They're in control. Hospital, one of the best hospitals is about to be built in West Africa. It's I'll show you the picture if I can find it. I'll do another segment on that. But this is there is mobile hospital right now in Burkina Faso, providing healthcare for everybody until the hospitals are completed. Then there would be, actual buildings for hospitals in all communities. But right now they're building in major centers. So these are all the critical changes that is happening. But all of that doesn't want to acknowledge. He wants to give reasons why we should be calling and begging the French to come back to continue the exploitation. No, thank you. So let's go again. So he talks about none of them will be sovereign today. Let me bring you that picture. The people that came and colonized were, again, look at that picture. That's a French woman on there. That's a French woman. This is in Senegal in 1930s. So when he's talking to us about, when he comes and he talks to us and he's trying to say, in fact, I'm going to show you the picture because I want you to have the full, we cannot let that go anymore. Give me one sec. Where is it? Okay, I think I've got it. Okay, it will come up in a minute. You will see it come up in just a minute or so. Okay, so you will see the full picture come up now. I wanted you to just see that because I think it's very important to see. Not that one. Okay, no. Okay, I can't find it just now. I know it's somewhere, but I cannot find it just now. Okay, anyway, but anyway, we'll come back to that later on. I'll come back to that. I just wanted you to have that information right there that the French are in control of. They came to do what they did, and any talk of it was pure benevolence on their part. It's pipe dream. It's pure pipe dream. It was pure exploitation, and that is something we must never ever forget. Where is it? Okay, but anyway, we'll come back to that, and I'll do that properly in another segment. But just to go over the point of what he was saying here, will be sovereign today. The fact of the matter is that the African countries are not sovereign as we speak, because many of them are still using the CFA that the French don't use. They use the euro, and they use the CFA to control and oppress and to reduce the value, to make the value of the currencies worthless, so that they can buy the resources on the cheap or get the resources on the cheap for nothing. So we're just exposing all of this, and I'm sure you'll agree with me. Go and do the research. You will agree with what I'm saying, every single word I'm saying right now. Okay. So yeah, and of course now go just to all our soldiers. Okay, the soldiers. The French have not gone into Africa for the benefit of Africa. It's for the benefit of the French. That's big. That is a fact. And you want us to respect in respecting your soldiers or remembering them. We want that we are accepting the oppression of Africa on the African continent. There's nothing wrong with the French remembering that they're heroes, but Africans must. Why we are being prevented from remembering our heroes? Thomas Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah, Gaddafi. Many other people that have been, taken out, assassinated by the French Secret Service. So when you come, that's to remember your heroes. That's for the French on the French soil. In Africa, Africans must focus on African heroes that you guys have actually taken out. Okay, now, fought for years. No, you didn't fight for years. You sought to keep the military there to take our resources for years. And that has now come to an end in those three major countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, that you see behind me on the screen. Please subscribe to Citizen AI, the platform where we speak truth power. Help us to grow the platform. Go ahead, subscribe. Go ahead. You want to do, subscribe, hit the notification button, and of course give us a thumbs up and help us reach more people. Very, very important that we get the message out there. This video in particular, we need to begin to dispel this false narrative that that the colonials have come for the benefit to help Africans. No, they've come to exploit and continue to exploit till as we speak. And we need to put a stop to it on the African continent. Pure and simple. Okay. So, because we were there at the request of the sovereign states, no, you put puppets in. And then you tell the puppets, these people that you see, look at Ivory Coast, look at Togo, look at all of these places, Benin, they are all puppets. So you can see these are this propaganda that we must dispel. They put puppets in to allow them to, that has to be signing and agreeing to allow the French to continue to take our resources on the cheap. So we need to break this down. Everybody watching this, it's very, very important. Let's go again. They have been, the French took away, neutralized many, from Thomas Sankara and from Patrice Lumumba, where the Belgians and the US and even the French and others, they all planned this, and then other Olympios, I think it's Benin. These were people unalived by the French, and now they're now coming to talk us about coup d'etats and everything else, which they instigated. So we will not take any lessons from the French government or Emmanuel Macron. This is pure colonization that we need to reject. So and people say their priority was no longer fighting. Of course it did. No, it was. It remains the case. It remains the case. And it is testament to that fact is this. Over 80% of the land in Burkina Faso is under government control. Whereas when the French military were there, it was barely 40%. The government of the day was barely in control of 40% of the land, which meant the military that were under the guise of protection, they were going to those areas and just taking the resources without anybody inspecting or checking what is going on. Going into the military bases that they were using to take the resources and then fly them out with no inspection whatsoever. So all of that has come to an end now, and we need more African countries to know that. So we just need to just break it down, So I mean, we don't want in the first a sovereign nation are taking care. As sovereign nations, Burkina Faso under Ibrahim Traore, Mali under Assimi Goïta, and General Chiani under Niger under General Chiani, they are taking control of their resources and protecting their people. That is a true demonstration of sovereign nations. And when any nation is depending on colonials for security, that nation is not a sovereign nation. Let us get that clear. So we need to dispel once and for all this narrative that they're trying to bring and this propaganda they're trying to spread. So that's why we're doing this program. Again, I'm going to put that picture up. Let me just check something. Give me one sec, please. Yes, I was telling you about the picture. That is the picture that is in the write-up that I wrote. So this is a photo taken in Senegal and then the French colony in the 1930s, showing European being carried through a river, by African potters in a sedan. That is the colonial thinking that is being that these guys still use till today, and we have to dispel it. We must dispel it. And I wanted to put that picture so you understand and that you can see the thinking. So you can see that is their thinking, and that's why I put it up. But let's just put it next to him. So this is where we'll come to an end on the broadcast. I hope you find it beneficial. You are, of course, listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please do subscribe to Citizen AY. Go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe to Citizen AY. Hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, help us reach more people, and help us share broadcast. And let's have your thoughts and comments on this. How do you view this? Is this not sheer hypocrisy that the French that have been colonizing us, based on the pictures that I'm showing you, this is from Senegal in 1930s. And that's the mindset they're still using till date, and we need to dispel it. What are your thoughts on this? Let's have your views. You are, of course, listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you very much, and we're back later on. Thank you. Bye for now.